We are live for another Strongman Sunday after Europe's Strongest Man. What a show it was last night. Hey guys, I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining us as always. Auntie Liz's voice is going as normal after a competition. Every time we come back from competition, you're like, I'm not feeling well.
To be fair, I am actually sick this time, Laurence. You're very unsympathetic.
I'm very unsympathetic.
It's not going to a competition, it's doing meet and greets.
What are you saying?
I met and greeted too hard yesterday, and now I am paying the price. Look at my hair.
What have you done? What's going on with your hair?
I washed it, but I'm too sick to do it.
There we go.
It's fine. I've had painkillers. I have a monster. I'm going to be okay.
The fact that you have a monster and I know you'll still sleep is quite
I'll
scary.
sleep like a baby. I need to sleep now, but never mind. We'll get through this. It was a great show.
It was great.
It was
really,
so good.
really
Such a
good
night.
evening. We'll talk more and more about that in a second. But do you want to go and see who is in the chat?
Worth getting sick for.
It was a great show.
Yeah. Got lots of members in the house. Craig asking how many number one spots has Mateusz lost because of his deadlift. It's a great comp and good to see Luke in form with Paddy snapping at his heels.
Yeah, obviously the deadlift has cost him a bit, but actually his deadlift wasn't bad yesterday.
4 reps. I mean, only
three given.
3, obviously.
Yeah.
He didn't do it in the time. It was
But
the right call. But
I think getting that 4th rep, even though he didn't get it for the comp, is good confidence moving forwards.
absolutely. Yeah, because I don't think the Magnus he could have got 4 on that axle.
No, he's definitely made progress since there.
Yeah.
And you can see how nervous he is deadlifting.
He
I mean,
is.
it shouldn't take you that long to do 4 reps.
No.
And the power was actually good. It's just now he's got, right, I can do it. Maybe I can push a bit quicker and harder. And maybe you get 4 or 5 next time.
Yeah, definitely. Cousin Fred is in the chat as always. We hope you're well, Fred, as is Rick.
Fred? Hey, Rick.
Hell of a show.
Rick
Thrilled for Paddy. Gutted for Gav. Any news on Luke pulling out? Not much, to be honest. We because he left quite soon after, didn't he? He didn't stay until the end of the show, but he was getting treatment in between events. And
I spoke to him before the show, and I think he'd been a little bit ill a couple of weeks out leading up to the show. So I don't know, because there's different rumors gone around if it was his back or whether it was just being sick. But,
yeah,
he seemed to deteriorate a bit as the comp went on. It started all right on the overhead, and then just each went seemed to be worse and worse and ended up pulling out. But hopefully he is back to his best very soon.
He was getting treatment in between with Rocco, and I noticed for the last event that he did the carry and drag, Rocco was out watching him. And you know, when Rocco's watching someone, he's a bit worried about them. So no official update. I'm sure there'll be something on their channel.
I think he posted something on his stories, just but nothing sort of descriptive about what the issue was.
Yeah. Poor Mateusz, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, so to speak. Do you know what though? Like, I felt really bad for him in the moment on that last stone, but then speaking to him afterwards, I don't feel bad for him. Like, not because I don't care.
Nice.
He's quite.
He was
happy.
smiling.
Yeah.
He was happy.
Yeah.
He was happy to get through the company. He's the kind of guy, you know, he's there to win.
Yeah.
And you could see after the stone, once he didn't get that stone, he doesn't care about 2nd place or 3rd place or 4th place.
No,
he's there to win, and he knew, you know, that was done. And I was actually worried that he'd hurt himself.
I was too for a second. Yeah.
He was absolutely fine. That's him. If he doesn't think he can win, that's it. He doesn't care about just making
placing.
good.
Yeah, but he's fine. Like you said, you know, he now knows where he's at. He knows what he needs to work on to win shows like Giants Live as well. He said he's been training for and competing in shows where he has hours in between events. So he just isn't conditioned very well for this type of show yet.
I would like to see him at some more Giants Lives.
Yeah, and he wants to do more Giants Live shows as well. He said he'd love to do Royal Albert Hall for Giants Live. If you are listening, we would love to see him there, wouldn't we?
I'm sure lots of people would.
Oh, dear, where are we?
Cousin Fred, thank you for gifting memberships.
Yes, bless you, Fred.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I mean, I feel bad for Mateusz, but he made it on the podium, got through the show injury-free, and looks to be
there
getting
was
things
lots of
well.
positives, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's certainly more positives than negatives. He made a few mistakes on other events as well. He fumbled the anvil a little bit. What else could have gone better for him? Obviously, he could have got the 5th stone.
The stone.
Yeah. And of course, the deadlift that he didn't do in time. Oh dear, Toby's not had a great week. Bless you, Toby, but he's looking forward to Strongman Sunday to raise his spirits. Europe certainly did. Predicted the right podium in the wrong order, thanks to Paddy smashing it. There you go.
Paddy did unbelievable.
Yeah, Paddy was great. It was a great show for him. You said he could do really well.
You were questioning my support for Paddy.
I was more conservative. I was just, being reserved, not putting pressure on the young man.
Yeah. I got 3 of the top 4. Obviously,
Luke
I thought
Stoltman
Luke
messed
Stoltman
ours
would be in
up,
the top 4 as well, but actually had Paddy in my top 4 as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
the top 4 that you put money on.
I can't remember exactly what I had. Luke Richardson. No, I didn't. I had Mateusz for the win.
Yeah.
Oh, mine was off. Mine was. Never mind.
And when I say the money on, everyone at Giants Live, there's a sweepstake
for the crew,
and you got to pay to obviously enter.
Yeah.
And Luke messed it up for me.
Yeah, they all messed it up for me.
You can't.
Very selfish. I could have won a couple of £100. Loved seeing Paddy secure his World's Strongest Man invite, talking about how he achieved his dream and it hasn't sunk in yet, is what the sport is all about.
It's going to be so cool. I've known Paddy a long time. Actually, he was his first coach, and I've become good friends with him. And it's so good seeing that progression. And he's such a good character, a good athlete, mentally very strong, kind of switched on. And he knows his weaknesses, but he's working hard at his pressing. He knows pressing is a problem for him. And I'd still say at some comps, top-end strength will be an issue. Like if you put Paddy into the Arnolds, for instance, that's going to be an extremely heavy show for someone like him. Yeah. But as an athlete, he's superb. Yeah. And I think once the events are released for Worlds,
we could talk about them.
And we can talk about them openly. I think Paddy has a good chance of doing very well in the heats. So
yeah, definitely. I think competitions like Worlds, Giants, even the Rogue Invitational. I mean, hard as it is to get on their radar at all, let alone get an invite. But those types of shows could still really suit an athlete like Paddy.
We were talking today, weren't we, about like imagine if there's a comp with 100 athletes, because there's so many good athletes right now that are all good at different events, different strengths, different weaknesses. How things would play out.
Yeah. But you were like 100 athletes, 10 to 12 events.
Yeah.
You were hypothesizing on the drive home, weren't you? Auntie Liz, has your number 1 athlete got his invite to World's Strongest Man? Not officially, no. So we don't know for certain that Rauno will get invited.
Officially, the only person that will guarantee a spot is Paddy because he was top 3. However, there's a good chance some of the higher placing guys that haven't already made it to Worlds will also be invited.
So if there are 2 more invitations,
I think Andre Foytu is pretty much
it would be, and if it does trickle down, it would be Andre and then Rauno would be next in line for that. So we'll see. There's still question marks though. Is Alexei Novikov going to do World's Strongest Man? Because that would open another spot. Is Thor going to do it? We're assuming not, which is why we think there's 3 spots left, isn't it?
We'll see.
Yeah, he won't. Oh dear. Gutted for Foytu being so close to the podium. He was decent as expected.
Foytu is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just getting better every time we see him. And
he's only 23 years old as well. Yeah. Like he's got so much time to develop. He's really smart as well. And he's so bloody strong. Yeah. To be coming 4th at shows like this at 23 years old, he's got all the time in the world to get better, hasn't he? So
yeah, definitely.
He's still got a couple of weaknesses in like the Atlas stones.
He's been training that stones really hard.
It's improved a lot actually, as well, to be fair to him.
Some of the stuff he's done in training has been phenomenal, but just fast-paced shows, you're fatigued at that point. It's quite funny because a lot of Giants Live shows and other shows are very fast-paced, especially when you're trying to put them out to a live crowd. You're trying to get shows quicker so the audience can enjoy them. So a lot of my training with clients is to get them to improve their work capacity and cope with shows like that. And the amount of guys that I train that are like, can I change things around, or can I kind of do, I'm doing legs fatigue, can I do them? I was like, no, there's a purpose behind it. Yeah. Because when you get to these shows, you have to be able to compete under those type of pressures. Just doing it at your own pace is not going to help you when it comes to comp day.
No. Lots of love for Paddy and lots of excitement. Great day for England, actually. England 1 and 2.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
But even beyond that, like Andrew Flynn did really well.
Yeah, he was 6th, wasn't he? And he's already qualified for World's Strongest Man. He was on the podium at Brits. But it's really nice, actually, to see that new talent coming through now because, it's like the Stoltmans have been, regulars at World's Strongest Man and at those top-level competitions. But it's good to see Luke, obviously, back in such a... I can't talk today, Lars. Just fucking help me.
Luke Richardson winning yesterday was phenomenal.
Yes. Let's talk about Luke.
Because he has been through so much crap the last few years. I mean, him and Kilishkovsky, to be fair, very similar stories. Both incredibly talented youngsters. Both had I think I think Luke's up to 5 surgeries, and
Mateusz
Kiliskowski's like 7 or 8, or I don't know, maybe more.
Yeah, I think it's double figures.
You know, and to have that pressure on you as a young up and coming talent, and then to have those knockbacks is very, very difficult. But to come back and, you know, to win Europe's the way he did yesterday, and he just seems so much maturity now to him.
Yeah,
he's relaxed.
Yeah. Did you see his interview afterwards? I only saw it on Instagram. I didn't catch it at the time because, you know, sometimes it's hard to hear.
Yeah.
He was like, a lot of people were writing me off after Britain's Strongest Man. But to those people, suck on that. Which I absolutely love.
Well, it's
brutal though, isn't it? People can be harsh.
It's hard to put money on Luke because you don't know what's going to happen. But you can't deny the talent that he's got and the hard work that he puts in.
But people do. People are like, oh, you know, all smoke, all this, all that. You know.
He's legitimately a top
good.
athlete.
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's just one of those more injury-prone athletes, unfortunately. But he's on the up, definitely.
And as long as he believes in himself and keeps pushing hard,
yeah,
he's capable of anything.
Luke Richardson was an absolute beast, dare I say, Hooper-esque in his consistency throughout.
Yeah, he was really good yesterday. You know, he didn't put a foot wrong.
Thomas, thank you for the super chat. My son and I were at Europe's, our first Giants Live comp. Loved it. Paddy was amazing.
I'm glad you guys had a great night.
It was a great show. Like this, the audience were amazing, weren't they? It was so loud in there.
I love that. Obviously, I love that arena for.
Yeah, but it's a great arena, and
always enjoy going back to Leeds. Yeah.
Big Bang Berry with the members comment. Rauno at World's Strongest Man. We party. I hope so. For selfish reasons, I hope so, because we're going there for the first time in 6 years. I know he wants to do it as like his last World's Strongest Man. So I really, really hope so.
Go and check on.
Yeah, I'm being called. Sorry, guys. Mother duties. Yes, baby.
Yeah, indeed, Fred. It was a brilliant show, and Paddy's shield carry, unbelievable. I think Paddy could go over 100 meters. He looked comfortable at 90, and obviously it wasn't quite 90 in the end, but he's capable of some big, big distances.
Daddy, can you put her earring back in?
Oh, yes. Right, daddy job. Mummy's useless at this.
So
you
go over there because you're not wearing clothes. Right, I will look after the stream.
I'm wearing a shirt.
Daddy's having to put her earring back in because he's better at it than me. What am I going to do without him for 3 weeks? How did or will the final standings of Europe's translate to invitations for World's Strongest Man? So they were talking about this in the athletes meeting the night before, and they were saying, you know, if you haven't been invited already, you want to go to World's Strongest Man, you need to be placing high. I was asking for clarity about trickle down invites. I was like, so is it going to be the top 3 who haven't already qualified? Darren wasn't like, he didn't confirm that 100%. He's like, it's safe to assume. And I don't like gray areas. I like black and white, but it seems that there's going to be a trickle down system there, but we will see.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Go upstairs. Well done, Daddy. There we go. Paddy Haynes' progression has been simply incredible. Super excited to see him.
Wow.
Oh, did you
just
pinch
caught
yourself?
my little toe.
Oh,
your
gosh.
chair.
Oh, no.
Ouch.
Oh, we're having a disaster, aren't we?
Yeah, this isn't good.
This isn't good. Oh, Lee's got his tickets.
Good man, good man.
Yes, so happy that Mateusz got through the competition uninjured. Me too, more than anything. That's all I wanted for him. It's great that he's on the podium as well.
Yes.
Lozo, can you just stay with me? Because
I was just looking on here, baby, to see
if but I'm flagging. Hey,
just
look.
making sure that you don't miss any super chats.
Ben's here as well.
Hey, Ben, hope you're doing well, buddy. Good stuff with that 400-kilo deadlift the other day.
Yes, I am sick, Monica. I haven't just lost my voice. I've got a very sore throat and a painful chest and a bad cough.
Is it just me, but Magnus Samuelsson looked massive? Click on that one that you're on.
Ben there we go.
He does. He looks great, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does look great. I mean, he's very tall anyway, but he's absolutely jacked still, isn't he?
And his mate, Callie Lane.
Oh, his mate. What a good look.
The hair on that man.
The man is a true Viking.
I don't know if any of you saw that, but I don't know if it would have been on the live stream.
It was on the live stream, folding
frying
pans. I nearly called them pancakes.
It was just funny because Colin Bryce clearly had no idea who this guy was.
And bloody
Colin Bryce has had this guy at his competition before. Callie's a former strongman who's competed in some of the super series back then. They were that Colin was involved with, so it just made me laugh.
Colin. World's Strongest Man is not this month, it's next month. So it's the 15th to the 18th of May, I think it is.
That sounds
yeah,
about right.
That does sound right. I'm sure it is because we fly on the 13th, I think. Mateusz getting mid-pack on the deadlift if he had managed to get it in time is a huge improvement.
15th to the 18th, you were right.
Oh, there we go.
Liz knows her stuff.
There we are. Bumped into my childhood idol, Magnus Samuelsson, and his big, terrifying-looking friend outside the arena. Both very friendly.
Callie Lane, who we were just talking about.
Yeah. Oh, he's not terrifying, is he? He was lovely. Yeah. Did you take Rano's painkillers or did Ivers nab them all? I think Ivers had them all. Where are we? Have you ever noticed that the tattoo on Handsome Pab looks like a very angry loss?
I need to pay attention. I've not seen it.
No. I have to ask him to show us. Looks like an angry loss.
I'll have to see.
So who got the World's Strongest Man invites?
So officially the top 3.
Yeah.
So top 3 of every Giants Live, as long as it's not including like England's Strongest Man.
Yeah, not
they're 6 bigger
regional,
shows. The top 3 are guaranteed invites, and then they will go down the list.
So Andrew Flynn was already invited because he came 3rd at Britain's Strongest Man. Yeah. So he was already invited.
And Luke was already invited because he came top 3 at 2 shows.
At 2 shows. Mateusz had already been invited.
Nothing to do with Giants Live, however.
No, he was one of a couple of wildcards that includes like Lucas Hatton.
Yeah.
Who else? Paddy hadn't already been invited, so he is officially invited. Andre Foytu, highly likely coming 4th.
Yeah, obviously, Luke Stoltman had already qualified for winning.
Yes,
groups.
Yeah.
Who else? I think that was it.
Yeah.
Pavlo.
Who was 5th?
Kordiaka. Kordiaka's already qualified.
Yeah, but who was 5th last night? Must be someone who was already invited. Was it Pablo?
It was Pavlo.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. There you go then. And yeah, so Rauno is the next one not invited, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Oh dear, still very confusing. Were you on Team Beatles or Team Rolling Stones growing up? A team too young for that shit.
Yeah, we're not that old.
But I would choose Rolling Stones over the Beatles.
I like both. Yeah,
I don't. It was the first time I attended a Giants live show yesterday, and it lived up to expectations. Enjoyed every second.
Did you meet up with Magnus Samuelsson?
We did. We spent some time with him backstage. We were supposed to spend additional time with him because I'm doing one of those biography videos, and I really wanted to do it the same way that I did the Magnus Fur one.
Yeah.
And I messaged Magnus Samuelsson last week, and I was like, "Oh, would you mind spending some time with me?" He's like, "Yeah, of course, no problem." But he didn't get there till quite late. It was just there just wasn't time, was there? So it's a shame, but hopefully I can do it online with him instead.
He's a good guy, though.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. I know it was the right call with the deadlift, but I wanted Mateusz to have the 4th rep. It was good for him, though, to see where he's at.
Absolutely. I think just the confidence of getting it, regardless of whether it was in time or not, is going to be good for him moving forwards.
Yeah. I think I would rather that happen to me than try for the 4th and fail it.
Yeah.
That would have been worse, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Evening. Oh, Europe's Strongest Man was a great event. You should get Colin Bryson alive on Sunday. I think Colin live is too dangerous.
Colin live is not good because he's not good at timekeeping. So you could be waiting a long time.
Oh,
but
yeah, no.
Interview with Colin is coming.
Yeah. Within the next couple of weeks. In fact, once the events have been announced and we can talk a bit more deeply about World's Strongest Man, he's going to come on the channel. So
yeah. Malcolm says, Lizzie, did you get that man his donut?
No, but
oxygen.
I brought him oxygen, which is much more useful to him. He had everything he needed. He had Polish soup.
Polish soup was the food choice this time.
Throwing a thermos flask at me. Try this. He's like, careful, it's hot. It's chicken soup. Authentic though.
Yeah.
Loz, as a former athlete, do you think a rep should count if you started before the time elapses but complete afterwards? I know some comps do, some comps don't. Also to Liz as a current athlete.
Honestly, I think as long as the rules are established beforehand, I don't really think it matters. To me as an athlete, as long as I clearly know what the rules are, that's fine. So whether it's like Rogue, where they allow the athlete, if they start the lift, they can complete it, I'm fine with that. And I'm absolutely fine with the Giants Live World's Strongest Man route. If that's the time limit, get it done. You as an athlete need to manage your time. And I know with Kilias Koski, we all want to see him get that rep, but it's his responsibility to lift in a quicker time. And you can see at the moment he's just scared. He was very slow to do that many reps. And it wasn't a power thing. It's more that he's worried something's going to go. And I feel now that he's done that, even though it was out of time,
he'd push a bit harder.
He can think, okay, my body coped well, I can push a bit harder, attack it a bit quicker. And I think he's capable of 4 again, maybe even 5, which if he starts getting 5 on things like that, with how good he is at other events, that puts him in contention. Not to win a deadlift, but to get enough points to win a whole show.
I actually really like the Rogan Arnold's way of doing it. I think I might be in a minority of letting them start the lift, just from thinking of it from different ways. So you've got the option of you have to time it right if it doesn't count, when the whistle blows. If you could do it the Rogan Arnold's way, you wait until the end, go for it. You have a choice then as an athlete to absolutely grind and push through and be under that weight and tension for a long time to try and get that rep. And you might succeed, but you might not.
I genuinely, as long as the rules are clear, I genuinely don't mind.
I don't mind either way either. No, this is quite funny. Jules, I said, Julie, so lovely to meet you too. Thank you for the photo. It still makes me laugh that Liz got Colin to take the picture and he wouldn't put down his beer. I got Brycey to take the picture. As you do. When will the World's Strongest Man events be released to
we
public?
don't know, but we hope very, very, very soon.
Our video is ready to go, so because we're desperate to talk about it with you guys. But we're really hoping this coming week. But to be honest, we really don't know. No. It was close to Europe's Strongest Man last year when they released them, and last year they weren't very forthcoming with information at all. So I'm figuring it's probably going to be similar.
Yeah.
How did Par go? Par was 1 place behind Rauno in the end. No, 8th. Rauno was 7th.
Rauno was 7th.
Yeah. Like Rauno, I was really, really proud of him on the stones. He ended up coming 3rd. And I think, it was tough. They were battered. He was really battered. And it would have been so easy for him to just think like, oh, fuck it. Like, because it felt so far out of reach.
The comp started really badly for him. So.
It did. And then it's so hard to claw back. But he just did so well to finish that run after quite a punishing
only
competition.
3 of them finished the stones.
Yeah, and it put him in. It really bumped him up in the points, didn't it? So, would have loved to meet Magnus Samuelsson again. He's lovely.
Do you know who has the last invite towards? We don't. Hopefully we find out soon, but we don't know.
You accidentally let slip
I let
one
slip
of them,
a few weeks ago, someone that has been invited pretty much, but other than that.
Yeah, and now we know Paddy for sure is invited because he was top 3. We are guessing Andre Foytu.
There's question marks over Alexei Novikov, whether he's going to compete or not. Obviously, he pulled out of Europe, so we've got to see what's happening with that. That may open up another spot. Thor has not confirmed whether he's going to do Worlds or not, so that potentially is another spot.
Well, we're saying 3 spots because we think Thor's not going to do it, to be fair. If Thor did do it, then there would only be 2 spots from Europe's Strongest
But potentially 3 because of
Alexei. We
don't know if he's going to do it yet.
Yeah, that's true. Gareth with the members comment, great to see Paddy through on his own merits. Yeah, 100%. That's great for Paddy.
Paddy, every single event other than the pressing, he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I said to you beforehand that he would be.
Yeah.
And I understand your point of view. Is like, if you're going to come last on a pressing event,
it's going to be hard.
Back, but he was so good at everything else.
He was. No, he genuinely was. With your secret knowledge of World's Strongest Man events, how well can Luke Richardson do? Podium? Everyone has to make it out of the groups first, to be fair, because these are going to be nasty, nasty groups when you look at the names in the lineup.
Because we don't even know who the groups are yet.
No.
That can
really screw you over.
I think Luke winning Europe has done himself a big favour.
Yeah, I think
that will help his group selection a lot. which just getting through to the final is a challenge in itself, because it's almost like having two separate competitions.
It is. I don't like to think about the podium until we're out of the group stages, to be honest.
There will be shocks, I think. I think people will get through the groups that maybe some people won't expect to.
Well, if you look, like there's going to be 25 names, you'll look at them and you'll say 20 of them are finalist contenders, but half of them aren't even going to make it. So yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Sorry for breaking in with a non-Europe's question, but is there only 5 people signed up for the Strongman Classic? Only 5 confirmed at this point.
There'll probably be about 12 competitors in total.
And for Giant Cyber, it's not a sign-up system, is it? No. It's an invitation system. So yeah, there'll be about 12.
And don't apologize for not asking.
It's not
you
like
guys can ask
exclusive.
Any questions.
Yeah,
it's just always nice after a competition to
break it down
a little,
deep dive. John with the super chat, thank you so much, John. Andre 42 proved he is world's strongest man worthy and got screwed by the stone off last year.
He's definitely world's strongest man worthy. He is an absolute beast and improving at a rapid pace as well. Being as young as he is, you tend to make bigger progress. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm pretty sure he will get an invite now, and I look forward to seeing him at Worlds. Yeah.
Oh, there's a 10-year-old girl, Eileen. Iliana. Do you reckon? Am I saying it right?
Probably not.
No, who is watching for the first time tonight. She wants you to know she can deadlift 50 kilos. She's so strong.
Awesome.
Well done. That is strong.
Really good.
I would tell Uncle Loz not to swear. Thank you for joining us. Had Pavlo as my number one. On paper, there were great events for Pavlo. He was limping around a little bit with just a tight hamstring.
I think it was on the shield carry.
Yeah.
But then he went and deadlift 4 reps, so his deadlift's looking good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything too much to concern anyone.
Andre left points out there. He could have made it onto the podium. Yeah, but it's, lack of experience at this level. He's still very new.
We can say that about every competitor.
Course. Yeah.
That you're always going to look at shows and there might be little mistakes that people make. And, he did awesome, and he'll learn from it and come back even better, which is what he's continuing to do.
Loz, what's with the beating yourself with a stick before a show? I wasn't sure if you were kidding or not. Serious.
I just used to beat myself with a stick to get myself fired up. It was just something that worked for me. I certainly don't suggest everyone does it, but I was one of those lifters that the more fired up I was, I could dig deep and lift more. Some people are better off being much calmer and staying relaxed, but it worked for me.
Apparently, on the stream, Colin said the top 3 who haven't been invited yet will be invited. In which case, if Rauno does not get an invitation...
We'll remind them of this.
I was going to say we riot. I riot. You sensibly remind them of this. I'll get a clip. I'll get a soundbite from the stream. How would Paddy do at OSG?
He did very well.
Yeah.
Paddy's a good athlete. And when you've got so many strengths in a contest with so many athletes, you're going to do well. Was Paddy second at OSG Europes last year?
No.
He was...
Adam Rushkowski wasn't it?
I thought Adam Rushkowski...
No, Ben Glasscock.
Oh, okay.
No.
I can't remember.
Someone else. I can't remember. But I don't think Paddy even did it.
He's done it before.
Is he? I don't know.
I'll check now.
We've never been to the Europes one because it's always clashed with something, hasn't it? It's always clashed with another event. Did we ever find out?
4th, Paddy was.
Last year?
That was to Europe's, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Did we ever find out the mystery athlete? There was no mystery athlete.
Let's not talk about that. Jesus. The less we talk about that, the better. I wasn't so impressed. But I think it was just something that went wrong. Probably should have been done the day before. April 1st would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like, ooh.
I think it was the sponsor's choice to do that, though, and like to make a joke. But I think I knew it was going to go horribly.
When I saw it, I was like,
well, straight away, I was like, who is it? Who is it? And I found out what it was, and I was like, no, all of the forums are trying to predict who it's going to be. This is going to go horrible. And It did. So yeah.
April Fool's joke, but it was the 2nd of April. That was the problem. It would have been fine if it was on April. Anyway, like we said, it's great that they've got a new sponsor, and hopefully next time it's a better idea.
For announcing. Claire freaking Myler's in the chat. Evening, lovely.
Yesterday.
Yeah, hope everyone loved the show. It was awesome. Great show.
Claire getting ready for England's Strongest Woman, which if you guys can get to, go and support the women. They put on an amazing show as well.
It's Britain's Strongest Woman, not
Britain's Strongest Woman, England's Strongest Man.
Yeah. It's the same weekend, isn't it? Yeah. Joshua, thank you for the super chat. Why is Eddie editing all of the photos he posts to make himself look so much taller than Marius? Is he really that insecure about his height? Is he? I've not seen any of this.
I did watch a bit of the press conference.
You did. You had it on the TV, didn't you?
I'm looking forward to it. It's quite nice. They've been quite respectful of each other. And
are these pictures of those two that have actually been taken stood next to each other, or is like one been superimposed and like just brought together?
Eddie is probably 2 inches taller than Marius, I would say.
How much taller would you say he's editing himself?
Do you
know what? Because if it is pictures of people, a slight change in angle, a depth perception, that kind of thing can really throw things off. Like I've looked at pictures before and I thought, where am I? I'm like a midget. But then I like slight change of angle and I look really, really tall next to someone. So we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know though. I haven't seen the pictures.
I'm looking forward to watching the fight.
Yeah. Mental watching Paddy and Andy Flynn's progress since I saw them at English Strongest Man in Doncaster 18 months or so ago. Yeah,
both looking
really well.
Both looking just comfortable in big shows now.
Yeah. Give Tim Buck an invite already. I know Tim's on a list of favourites to be invited, as is Wesley Dewinski. Let's not forget Wesley, bless him. He was 6th in the final last year. So yeah, we'll see. Like there's still time. People, they go into a dangerous area of prep and there could be
athletes to be selected plus reserves, isn't there?
Exactly. Well, I know who the proposed reserves are.
How do you know these things?
Because I ask. Because I'm nosy. I ask.
I don't like that you know things and I don't.
I tell you, you just don't listen to me because you think I'm rambling, but I'm telling you really valuable information. I'll tell you after the stream.
Probably while telling me stuff that needs doing.
I probably was rambling about something. Really enjoyed the nostalgia with Sam Wilson and Felix making an appearance.
It's cool seeing those guys.
Yeah. Is Auntie Horse from Shouting? No, I've been getting ill over the last couple of days, and like today I woke up feeling pretty rough and I've just slowly deteriorated throughout the day. I've got quite a bad chest and throat as well, so I love this one. I hate it. XXX. It's like the most aggressive name, but always just like nice, sweet comments. Don't forget to like the stream, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Is Eddie Hall even a shoeless, genuine 6'2"?
He's genuinely 6'2". Yeah. Eddie and me look each other directly in the eye. Yeah. And I'm 6'2".
Yeah. I've measured Loz for clarification.
Yeah. I think even Eddie's admitted he's 6'2". I think
what's he billed as?
I think 6'3", 6'4" we've seen, but
certainly not 6'4".
He's 6'2". Yeah. He's not a midget by any means.
No. Jane with the members comment, Shane and Paddy for World's Strongest Man finals. If only could watch. I know. That is the worst thing, isn't it? Like, no one can see it.
Neil, pick up.
Hands up if you're completely knackered.
I bet he's
absolutely ruined. Yeah, Neil.
Always good to see Neil looking dapper as ever.
What a showman.
You get invited into his changing room every show now. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
I got absolutely hoodwinked last night because I was like, are we going to go look at your outfit then? And we accidentally walked past James Statham's room. And he's got his mastermind chair where he gets people in for an interview. I was shoved in there. They took my jacket off me and they made me do a double bicep.
I need to see this.
I really hope it doesn't make it onto the footage. I'm absolutely horrified because I didn't know. I hadn't checked a mirror. I hadn't brushed my hair. They did a full interview with me. First, James did a proper interview.
Whilst posing.
No, first James did like a genuine interview with me. And then Neil did a weird interview with me.
One of Neil's interviews.
One of Neil's really weird interviews.
And I saw he was calling his father a homeless man.
Yeah, a tramp he called it. Oh, he is funny. Oh dear. My biggest question from yesterday, when is someone going to fix the LED deadlift counter? Apparently the actual counter button is overly sensitive, which is why it like sort of flicks up 1 hour. It drives me insane as well. I couldn't cope with it. No. Never mind. Rick with the members comment, hope to see Dutchy Kevin Harslegger next year. Yes, we'd love to see Kevin as well. Yeah, it would be good to see guys like him, Adam Mishkowski.
Yeah, we've said. I think I'd like to see some newer guys. Definitely.
Yeah. And like guys like that, it wouldn't be ideal, but they'd be so willing if an opportunity came up last minute, even like chuck them in, see what they can do. If they can even hold their own, then they're proving they're good guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Pa dropped the C bomb and the F bomb on the mic.
I think I got in trouble because I
you said
the
but
not on camera, not on
on the stream.
Well, on the
said
stream,
it, yeah, not on Channel 5's camera.
Also, Colin was really trying to put me off.
And you said I didn't at that time.
I may have said that. I apologise to anyone that was offended by anything I said yesterday. I normally say something that offends someone.
I apologise for absolutely nothing. People talking amongst themselves now. Honestly, if I met you both, I'd be an absolute fanboy. And by the way, Luke Richardson and Paddy were incredible. Same with Mateusz. They were all great.
Thank you very much.
Evening, Neil. Thanks for telling everyone how old I am, Claire.
Just because you're so awesome, Claire. That's what it is. You remember?
All of the Icelandic boys are making babies, apparently. Yes, Bence, the Hungarian ogre. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Neil, sorry, Claire, I'm the same age, which is why I wanted to shout it out last. You can break your foot off in my ass when you see me. See what I mean? What a weirdo.
Neil's reaction to the way you're looking at the moment was interesting.
Oh God, I know, he's so inappropriate, isn't it? What did he say? I can't remember. I can't remember what he's saying. Shit the bed.
Something like that.
But really loudly in a restaurant.
Like, I think Neil's the one guy that can get away with it as well.
Yeah. I went over to say hello to him and he's eyeballing me. Shit the bed. Something like that, wasn't it? Was it?
Something like that.
But I know people were looking.
This is why we love Neil.
Please. Stop. Right. Stephen, thank you so much for the super chat. Who was the surprise guest? Did I miss something? If you're lucky if you missed it. No, it was
What is this?
Nothing. It was
why is Lars good at putting in earrings? Too much time hanging around Gloucester docks. I have 2 daughters. That's why I'm good at putting in earrings.
Yeah, to be fair. And I'm a lot more squeamish than Lars, so he's just better at stuff like that than I am. But no, there was no mystery guest. It was the mystery competitor was a new sponsor. We talked about it about 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Rewind and hear our thoughts. I don't want to go on about it.
Tumbleweed moment. You need to kind of just
move on. Yeah. Matt with the members comment, Paddy at the Magnus Classic use of our new world record. Oh yeah,
maybe that would be good.
I mean, he's got such a long wingspan, hasn't he? With those
the athletes that can lock their hands, whether it's like that, they can tend to go a little bit further with that shield, and he does have long arms.
Yeah, definitely. Mateusz's deadlift seem much improved. Seems there's a slight mental block there that I'm sure he'll work through.
Definitely.
Yeah. How old is Luke? At what point is he the present? I think he's 27. 27.
I said this to him yesterday in the interview I did for Channel 5. I was like, we can't keep calling you the future anymore.
Well, no, he is the present now.
Yes.
Yeah. When guys are winning competitions like this and performing, yeah, he is. Because people will say a lot, oh, you know, so-and-so is the future of strongman. It's like, no, they are doing it right now. They're not the future, they're the now, because things can change quickly in strongman as well, can't they? So, yeah, they're the here and now. Someone saying that Ben Glasscock should have been at Europe's. Ben was great at Brits, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Nice character as well.
I will say this, like openly I'll say, as Brits, we have a big advantage. I think some other Europeans should be there.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think 5th, 6th, 7th at Brits should be invited. I think 1st or 2nd in some of the other shows.
100%. No, I totally agree. I think as Brits, you have a massive advantage and pathways that don't exist. Like, other European athletes, what have they got? OSG Europe's, where one guy will get an invitation to one Giants Live.
Yeah, it's tough.
And that's it. Yeah, it's harder.
Well, you think for a long time, Lalas was number 2 to Zdrunas in
Yeah.
Lithuania. No one knew who he was.
Yeah.
So,
And I probably shouldn't even say it as a Brit, but I don't think top 3 at Britain's Strongest Man should be a qualifier for World's Strongest Man. Not if America's isn't, or North America's isn't.
yeah, I mean,
It's
we have a good standard in the UK, and America does as well.
Yeah, but
there's things that can improve worldwide, and I think
to make it more balanced.
I think we want to make it better worldwide to improve the reach of the sport. More fans, more money will come in, and things will be better.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing like guys like Paddy and Andrew Flynn were often stopped to get a chance to protect older athletes. And it sounds harsh, but it's true. But you've got to give the younger guys a chance.
Yeah.
And Paddy's had a few chances where he didn't do that well. Now he's starting to kind of get that confidence. You know, remember his first Brits?
Yeah.
He really tanked in terms of how he's
shit the bed.
Yeah, he just didn't perform how he could have.
No.
But we've seen Tom Stoltman do that.
Yeah.
So I like seeing younger athletes on the way up get that opportunity. I'd rather see an up-and-coming youngster come and do badly than an older guy that's just consistently struggling just because they're a big name and they've done well in the past.
Yeah. It's tattoo is it Kratos?
Kratos,
God of War.
cool.
Yeah, you get told quite a lot that you look like him, don't you?
Did I get the chance to pull with Magnus? Unfortunately not, but I did do some pulling with, Neil Pickup was training myself and Rob Frampton and Rob's partner as well. So we're getting to you. You came in and watched for a little bit.
Oh God! Yeah.
But then you left.
I was just being polite.
Yeah, but it was quite good fun. It was good.
Bye, everyone.
Neil's a very, very good coach, and any opportunity I get to learn from him, I will.
Liz, is Loz going to bring your sickness to Canada when he's here with Mitch? No, he won't, because he's immune to my sickness.
I'm absolutely fine.
He's immune to my sickness and my nonsense, so he'll be fine.
Like, we're a reverse couple in that she gets man flu, and I just cope absolutely fine.
Yeah, right.
Am I wrong?
No, you're right. When COVID first rolled round and people were getting sort of sicker, it was new and everything. I was so worried about Loz getting it. We both got it at the same time. You were absolutely fine, weren't you? I was like rolling around in bed, clutching my kidneys, like, oh my God, I'm dying. But there you go.
This is a baby.
I am a baby. I just need babying. Hades, thank you for the super chat. How do you recommend someone train when they are sick? I've had a bad cold for a week that's been getting worse.
If you're really sick, take the week off. It's not going to kill you. But normally with a bit of a cold, you may find your conditioning's a little bit worse, so maybe drop the reps a little bit, give yourself a bit longer rest period. But you'll probably find strength is absolutely fine. But be sensible, okay? Don't go to the gym if you're absolutely ill. And firstly, you're going to risk getting other people ill, but you're probably not going to really benefit from it anyway. You're better off just getting yourself feeling better. Look, Rebecca Roberts, one of my clients, she's not been well this week. I told her to take a few days off and just get yourself feeling better. We've got no competitions coming up immediately. So it's like, focus on getting better. We'll get you back in the gym next week. It's really not the end of the world if you miss a few days.
Yeah. Do I still have to squat tomorrow?
Yes. You're not that sick.
Do you know what happened to Luke?
We don't. He was either ill or had a bit of an injury. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to speak to him.
Claire Myler's saying Luke had a bad sickness bug.
Okay, I knew he had a sickness bug a few weeks back coming into it, so obviously that's not cleared up. But I'll let Luke clear it up. Obviously, he wasn't as good as he was at Brits. And if you're not feeling well, you're not feeling well. I've been at Europe before when I wasn't feeling well. I was ended up puking up and feeling like absolute crap. It's not the nicest position to be in. And with Worlds coming up, I'm sure he wants to get himself feeling good and ready for that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know the facts because I didn't get a chance to talk to him afterwards.
If Mateusz had achieved 2 more reps, would he have won the comp?
No, he wouldn't have.
Because
but it would have put him in a different position going into the stones. He would have been out in the last heat, so potentially maybe he could have.
Things.
But just doing 2 more reps with the way everything went wouldn't have changed anything.
Wow, he would have been second instead of third.
Sure.
I go to Brits every year as it's my local show. Yesterday was my first Europe's and I loved it. It was a great atmosphere and amazing show. Yeah. Leeds has been a staple now for, 13 years. 13 years.
I think I've been to almost every one.
Yeah. We have. The only year we missed was 2020 because of COVID.
Yeah.
But Headingley Stadium was the first venue. Well, before that was car parks, wasn't it? But Headingley was the host of the first Europe's Strongest Man. And it's been since 2016 at the First Direct Arena. It's one of the better arenas, I think.
It's a good arena.
I like it. Terry prefers the World's Strongest Man rule, the lifts must occur in the time allotted. Yeah. And that was always the way when you guys were competing, wasn't it? Do you think Mateusz ran too fast for the shield? No, I don't think so.
I think Paddy ran the fastest.
It's one of those things that the less time you're under it, the better, as long as it's not throwing you balance-wise or, you're tripping over yourself.
Yeah.
You want to get it done quick, don't you?
If the World's Strongest Man and winner isn't Tom or Mitch, Delos and Liz agree it will probably be Luke Richardson. Not necessarily, no. There's a lot of guys that are in contention.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lucas Hatton, Trey Mitchell,
Evan Singleton.
Evan,
There's a lot of guys. And like we said, you've got to see the groups first. Events.
You've got to see what the guys have to do just to get out of the groups as well. Like, what shape are they in? Kind of how hard a battle did they have?
I wouldn't be surprised to see Luke do really well, but this is I wouldn't
it's so
say
early at this point.
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think there's a lot that can happen, and there's World's Strongest Man's a different competition. I think that what Luke did last night was brilliant, and he just needs to build on that. It's like I said before the competition, he's hard to predict, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just
he's been through a lot. If
you're going to put 100 grand on an athlete, is it going to be Luke Richardson based off the past? It's hard to say. I'd put 100 grand on him.
Don't put 100 grand on anyone.
Well, no. But that's why you make it hard. Like if you were going to put 100 grand on an athlete,
not a Mitch,
exactly.
Reliable over a long period.
That's not saying like you don't want Luke to win.
No.
But I wouldn't have put 100 grand on me.
God no, I would not.
Because I wasn't a predictable athlete.
No.
When you're taking a risk like that, and that's what I'm kind of talking about when you look at everything that you go on. I mean, Mitch is so consistent.
Yeah.
So consistent that he's so reliable in terms of performing at a high level. A lot of athletes are not, and it's there's so many athletes on their day can be unbelievable, but to do it back to back to back to back all the time is something else.
People sharing their opinion about the rule of after the time start. I think for the audience it's more entertaining if you're allowed to complete it like they did at the Arnolds. Austin likes the Rogue Way too. Ron Chopped, my name for him, likes the rule that if you've started, you should be able to finish.
I've started, so I'll finish.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about when.
Yeah.
Mastermind, wasn't it?
Yeah. Was it Mastermind? Yeah, I've started, so I'll finish. Yeah. Did VIP at Europe's Strongest Man some years ago spent ages talking to Iron Bibby. When people come up for a photo with him, I would take it. Oh, how funny. Iron Bibby's a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, yes.
Austin with the members comment, Gav looked good at the start, hoped for more. Yeah.
I was impressed with Gav on the overhead. Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah,
and then unfortunately, just things faded after that.
Yeah.
And then he unfortunately hurt his, I think it was his brachialis actually.
Forearm. It was very red.
Yeah.
Looking at it after the stones.
Hopefully it's nothing too serious. I think it's very similar to what I did before I went to OSG Europe's.
Nasty, yeah.
So hopefully not a big injury.
No,
but
just a painful one.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Yeah, I know he was in a lot of pain. Bless Gav, he did the meet and greet for about an hour and a half afterwards in agony with it because they eventually said on the mic, we can't have Gav signing things. You can come, have a photo, talk to him, but he's in so much pain and he was just red raw. So bless him. He's such a good guy, though.
He's a lovely
to stand
guy.
out there for it's so uncomfortable.
Yeah, Gav is just a really, really nice guy. There's no other thing to say about him.
Got a super chat there from Strike the Anvil. Thank you very much. Great job as usual with the commentary and the behind the scenes video from Liz. Always the best to watch. I really enjoyed Mark Felix and the grip pants.
Thank you very much. Strike the Anvil.
I was glad to get it out nice and early. I was up almost all night editing, and then the bloody hotel Wi-Fi was awful. I actually was able to upload it from my car easier, like hotspotting on my phone, which is ridiculous.
Claire says Wes Dewinski definitely deserves a spot.
I agree. I'd like to see Wesley back at Worlds. Paddy's stash has its own postal code. I'm still not convinced it's not stick-on. I've been meaning to try and, do you know what I mean? Just like really, oh, hold on, mate, you got something on your stash, just to test it, stress test it a little. The groups are going to be brutal. Some big names might not make it through.
I agree.
We see it every year, yeah. Because we're
also. I called this guy Ned. I can't possibly be called Ned Flanders.
He's obviously Ned Flanders. Look at his profile picture.
The real Ned Flanders.
And we're also relying on the organizers doing the groups right and not like imagine you've got a seed like Mitch Hooper and one like Luke Richardson in a group together, and then let's chuck in Lucas Hatton
or Kiliashkovsky.
Yeah, how devastating! We saw it. Kiliashkovsky,
but he was in terrible shape.
No, he wasn't in his.
That's the worst competition I've ever seen Kiliashkovsky do.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
the shape he's in right now, you certainly wouldn't want him in your group.
It was a heartbreak group, though, wasn't it? Because there was so many good guys in that group. Yeah, so there's gonna be upsets, 100%. Oh, I'm already stressed. And they won't find out the groups until literally the day before, because that's just how they consistently do it now. Everyone has to have arrived, has to have passed their medical.
They didn't used to do that.
No.
But then what World's Strongest Man don't want to do is announce something that there's going to have changed.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time that happens because, like Liz said, medicals, injuries,
and it's not
problems.
It's not always a case of, all right, this guy's dropped out, put that reserve in there.
Yeah.
They often end up changing quite a few groups because now we've got two.
We have ourselves tried to do the groups. It's a very hard job.
It is horrible.
So for the guys that have to do it, it's not easy.
No, and it's subjective, isn't it? Like rarely are people going to come up with the exact same group. So
like I've said before, like events are so important when it comes to strongman. If you think in terms of how did an athlete qualify? Look at the events they did in that certain comp, and then these are totally different events. So are they still good? Are they still good?
Yeah.
You know, strongman's a weird sport like that.
Yeah. Dalton, thank you very much for the super chat. How hard would a safe press be from behind the neck? This totally wasn't based on me overthinking training videos plus Europe's Strongest Man events for an upcoming competition.
Don't try and do
no, it sounds terrible.
It's bad enough as it is from the front. I mean, I was surprised at how much some of the guys struggled with it.
I think they're really inexperienced with it. They just don't do it very often because we've had it a few times at Giants just for reps as a standard event.
When I was competing, it was in quite a few competitions, so I got relatively good at it. But I was surprised at how much some of them struggled on it.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Can't hear you guys. Hello, Par is a legend. Hopefully you can hear us.
Hopefully we've not been on for nearly an hour.
No one could hear us the whole time. Cousin Fred, thank you for the super chat. One of my favorite parts was when Mark and Magnus rolled the pans, then signed them and gave them.
That was really nice. Yeah, really good.
Nice. Yeah. Hopefully the kids at some point will appreciate the what they have there. Oh, there we go. Liz, have I been an active enough member to put the username to my face last night? I have to up my game. Now I know you, Alex. There you go. A guy goes through last night. I'm Alex. I'm one of your members. I'm like, mate, I am not the right. I am useless. Useless. But I do remember you saying that to me. So we're good. Oh, Loss has known Big Z for years. Has Z always been such a political animal? With his mild personality, you'd think he'd avoid being so spiky and divisive.
Yeah, he has actually. He's always been kind of into politics. And he's always had a very dry sense of humor as well. So sometimes you don't know if he's joking or if he's been serious.
Yeah.
But he's always been very political.
I've never really got into politics with him, though.
No.
And any other time that we spent with him,
No.
I'd never known for him to sort of bring it to competition.
I've had a few little chats with him, but I try not to.
Not about
keep it a bit more,
politics. Yeah, more strongman related instead.
Well, just anything, but
if you're friends with him on Facebook, then you know what we're talking about.
I have some interesting stories of Zadrunas that I definitely can't talk about, but
we've all got interesting Zadrunas stories. Pablo will be fine for World's Strongest Man. Oh, they're talking about the thing. It wasn't posted on April Fool's. We know. We're aware.
How did commentating on Channel 5 go, Loss? It's great. I love working with the team.
Presenting.
Yeah, it's all good fun.
I was actually thinking while watching Europe's Strongest Man, do you think an OSG type format would be good for worlds instead of groups? Also, was it just me or was Colin trying to butter Thor up?
I've said for a long time now, I'd like to see like 20 athletes.
We like the OSG system, don't we?
Yeah. Or more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a system like that.
I wouldn't mind seeing 30, do 4 or 5 events, then drop it down to the top, whatever. Yeah. And then go from there and consider that the final. The problem is TV and how to make X amount of episodes and keep it really interesting. So it's not just an episode of everyone deadlifting.
Sure.
Or something like that. Giants Live trolled us all. To be fair, it was the sponsor's idea, I think. So
anyone coming to see Brits ladies, come say hello to Claire. Make sure you go see her and support her. And the other ladies as well.
If it comes down to who would be a fair invite, I'm personally hoping both get in. I think, honestly, I think Wesley's the fairer invitation. If you look at what they both did in the last 12 months, Wesley was 6th at the one Giants Live he did. Rauno was 7th. Wesley came 6th in the final last year. Rauno was joint first at the Deadlift World Championships. I think I thought Wesley should have been invited anyway, personally.
So did I.
And I'd still like to see him there, definitely.
I'd like Rauno to go because he's my friend. But I think Wesley deserves to go.
Yeah. Can Mateusz please be more proud of himself when he performs well? He wasn't even happy after the crazy Viper pressing.
He smiled a few times yesterday.
He smiled a lot yesterday, to be fair. He smiled a lot all weekend, But he just holds himself to such a high standard. Like, he was faster in training. Why can't I recreate that here?
It was such a fast-paced show, and he felt the conditioning.
He knows why as well. Well, that was the first event. And he said, the safe is lower. So that was a little bit trickier. What else did he say? The axle was fixed. He's been working on a rotating one, and the dumbbell is very different to the one he's been training on. So we understand
on the dumbbell because it's got like a rounded inner to it rather than like a flat surface. Where the flat one they often kind of rest onto their forearm. Whereas the rounded one, you've got to focus more on squeezing the bicep and forearm in a bit more.
About a bit more.
So you need to create that tension in your body rather than being able to rest it onto your forearm.
Makes it a bit trickier. Caught a few guys out, didn't it? Guys struggling with that. But I think because also he wasn't in the last group, so he assumed the last 2, which was Luke Stoltman and I can't remember who it was now. Andre Forty was in the group before. Must have been
Richardson.
No, he was up against Richardson. Yeah,
Pavlo.
Yeah, I think it was Pavlo. Yeah, he assumed
Pavlo really struggled on the safe, didn't he?
Yeah, and then Luke struggled with the axle. Yeah. Luke Richardson was 6th for Britain's Strongest Man. Luke Stoltman was 6th for Europe's Strongest Man. Conspiracy? Maybe. People are quite obsessed with athlete-specific heights. They really are. Julia, Liz, your workout transformation inspires me. Thank you so much. I feel absolutely dreadful right now. I feel like a roly-poly. I went
yesterday. You're getting a lot of people give you crap for eating some sweets and stuff.
Honestly, like.
It was quite embarrassing. I was embarrassed for you. Like I was just like, why are these guys even mentioning it?
Whenever I eat anything right now, not my friend, not people who actually, but and I know people just mean it in a sort of fun way. But they're like, "You're supposed to be eating that." It's like,
I can eat what I like,
whatever the fuck I like I normally do, just within a certain calorie range. So yes, which is fine. But when like 20 people do it, it's a lot, isn't it?
Look who's in the house.
Hey, Paddy.
Well done yesterday,
well
mate.
Done, Paddy.
Amazing performance.
How
and
nice.
I'm sure you've gone through some of the comments, but there is a lot of support for you in here.
Yeah, more talk about you than anyone else, I would say. How tall is Magnus Samuelsson?
I think he's about 6'5" or 6'6". He's tall.
He's very tall. Yeah. All people giving me some medication recommendations. Thank you.
Yeah, look at all the support for Paddy.
Paddy in the building.
And rightly deserved.
Congrats, Paddy. Great job yesterday. Oh, people are just excited that Paddy's here now. What's he talking about? Jesus Fanta. I had a flashback then. Paddy saying, I'm very bruised from my shield cuddle. It's a brutal event, isn't it? The shield carry, max distance. Loz got in trouble for saying shit and dropped an F-bomb not long afterwards. Oh, Loz, what are you
I
like?
was far too relaxed last night.
Yeah. Well, you were everywhere. It
Mm.
was quite funny because a couple of times I'm sure Neil threw it to you, like vocally on the mic, but you were off doing something else with the TV people.
I know. It's all right.
Man of many
Neil is a man that
talents.
doesn't need anyone helping.
He
He's
doesn't.
awesome at what he does.
Yeah, Neil can carry a show on his own,
Yeah.
thank God. When is Loz heading to see Mitch?
Very soon.
Very soon. I don't even know what Neil's talking about in the
I
chat.
think he's just chatting with people.
Oh, okay. People asking Paddy about the world's events. Liz and Loz, if you were on the show Naked and Afraid, how well would you do? I don't know what that show is.
What's Naked and Afraid?
I'll quickly Google it. Hold on. Sounds a bit ominous, doesn't it? Naked.
We've never heard of it.
No, I don't know if it is.
Liz will look it up. Is this a UK or American show?
God, they're 17 seasons in. Several pairs of total strangers have to survive the extreme environment and dangerous wildlife of the wilderness, naked and afraid.
I think I'd survive better than Liz.
Yeah, dressed naked, doesn't matter.
Dressed naked, whatever. If we're out in the wilderness, I'm surviving better than Liz.
I think I'd get over the nudity after about 30 seconds and just be really grumpy about the situation. So yeah, I think I probably wouldn't do very well, to be honest. I'm a woman.
You like your comfort.
I like my luxuries. I don't even know about comfort. I am a bit of a princess, to be honest. Yeah, it's fine.
Paddy also has less upper body bulk. I think you talked about it on the stream. I guess he does.
We're talking about Paddy's bulk. Leighton, thank you very much for becoming a member. Neil saying Lizzie Lozzie when only one of you is in front of him. That's actually his name for me.
I'm Loz, or Big Loz. She's Lizzie Lozzie.
Yeah, that's my
If he says Lizzie Lozzie, he's talking to you.
He's only talking to me, yeah.
But I don't think we need this to take off.
No, don't everyone start doing it.
Just for Neil.
Yeah.
He is special.
Yeah.
Gets
Do you know
privileges.
why Janasha has moved to New York?
No.
No,
idea.
we haven't. I think Europe's last year was the last
yeah.
time we spoke to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we go bowling last year?
We did. We
Yeah, I
walked to
thought so.
that place. Yeah.
Because we went with him, didn't we?
Yeah, him, Ivers, Andre, Rana. Yeah.
Paddy, go win England so you can get a spot at Magnus for Magnuson and have a chance at it.
Maybe.
Or just invite him
Just
anyway.
invite him.
He's going to Worlds for crying out loud, Monica.
People trying to build legitimate pathways, and we're like, just invite him. we're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now, hopefully we'll be going as well, so it'd be nice to see Paddy there.
yes. Yeah. People telling Paddy he needs to put some more muscle on.
What's this Lost pulled who Liz watched?
I don't know what that's in reference to. God, Loz, would you recommend Mitch's back arch doing overhead implements? Or is he an anomaly?
Don't copy Mitch.
Don't do that. Yeah. Liz could add some spice to the Giants live shows if they cut to her before every event and she reeled off athlete stats for the next event. Record voice would be better than the DJ. Nah. I'd say I'd panic and say something really stupid. Also, I'm very busy. I'm
Very busy.
filming. I'm looking after all of my athletes.
Was it Ivers? You offered to help him with his suit. He's like, you can help with suit?
Yeah. And then he was like, don't do it too tight. And I was like, Ivers, I could not do it. I'm not strong enough to do it too tight for you. Then he comes off afterwards. He's like, Lizzie, in his Ivers voice, like, help me. Bless him. Yeah, because
he was questioning whether you could do it. And you're like, I help Mitch.
I do Mitch's, but they've stopped letting coaches in that area because it was it's dangerous, to be honest, because there's a lot of moving parts to these competitions, obviously, and you just can't have too many people. And athletes will bring in quite a lot of people, and so now pretty much everyone. I do have some special privileges, but so I was helping, just usually holding things.
Yeah.
And being ready and, dabbing people with towels when they're covered in tacky. Is Gav okay? He seemed not himself before the injury.
I think Gav needs some time off. And I said this before, like
he started so well.
He started well on the
overhead.
overhead, and then it just you could, like, watching the deadlift. For me, it was like something was up.
Yeah,
like
to only get one, even before he started the
Yeah.
deadlift. Yeah.
Like Gav's a lovely guy, but I just feel he needs some time off to really find that hunger again. Maybe do a few smaller shows just to kind of get that confidence back, because you jump straight back into Giants Live. You're up against great guys, and you constantly keep getting knocked down.
Maybe take like a full year of just really good training.
Yeah, or just pick up, like, focus on maybe winning the Welsh, focus on maybe 1 or 2 smaller shows, just to build that confidence back. Work on any weaknesses that need sorting, and get yourself back to your best, because I don't want to see people come back and just do badly. It's been a string of bad performances for him. I think he needs a few smaller shows just to get that confidence back, figure out what he needs to in training. We've seen him do well before, so the talent's there. But if you just keep accepting comps and coming bad, I mean, he accepted this last minute. You keep accepting comps last minute just to do them and do badly, you almost do yourself more damage.
Yeah, you do.
So I want to see him.
Reputation-wise.
I want to actually see him maybe do something like OSG.
Wow, yeah.
It takes balls to go to something like that, but
I was having a bit of a rant in the car earlier, wasn't I? I was like, and I mentioned on our stream earlier, the Brits are lucky. With their pathway into Worlds, they're lucky. What I would really like to see is more of those guys doing the Arnold's qualifier and the Shaw Classic qualifier also.
Yeah.
And not sort of living in that comfortable bubble.
It's hard again, because then it's the cost to get over there. That's where the Americans have a bit more of an advantage on those shows. Although we have more of an advantage because we've got the Giants Live.
But like the Arnold's is expensive for everyone. Like your flight's more expensive if you're coming from the UK. Actually, I'm sure it's not that much more expensive if you were coming from right over, say, in California. But that's beside the point. Everyone pays to be there, don't they? Like it's it's
difficult
in yourself.
because the standard is high right now. There's so many good guys, and if you're a little bit off your game, you get beat.
I know.
It's as simple as that.
It would be hard if you've been to high level competitions to get shown up at a more open level.
I must admit, I do respect the guys that
put themselves out there.
that have been to Worlds, for instance, and then they've drifted off and they still try and go back through that route. Spencer Remick is probably the best example of that. He's been to OSG 3 times. 4 times?
4. I think this was his 4th time, because he'd podiumed a couple of times already. But finally won it.
We're in a stage now where the standard's so high, you can't just rest on your laurels. You've got to prove that you're good enough.
No.
And selection is getting getting better.
It's getting better.
Focusing on the better athletes. I mean, Brian will announce his athletes. I'm sure he'll focus on who he feels are the 16 best guys in the world. I don't feel Brian will invite people because he likes them. He'll invite who he thinks are the best guys. World's Strongest Man seems to be a much better qualifying system now. Hopefully they get it right with these last few spots and stick to what it should be. But there's certainly less and less of the people just being invited for the sake of it.
Absolutely. There's less filler now.
Yeah.
Who designs events for World's Strongest Man? Is it Colin Bryce? It's a collaborative thing between people at IMG, Colin's team, which is basically the Giants Live team, but also the event sponsors as well. So
Rogue have had a lot of say in events in the past few years. And,
so there's quite a few people bringing ideas to the table and then making sure, because the Giants Live team is to kind of run the competition on the ground once the competition is happening, whereas IMG is obviously the TV side of it and everything, but it's to make sure that it's ticking all of the boxes. Is it an all-round test of strength? How are we going to include sponsors into it? This. Oh, there's quite a few people involved in those conversations, isn't there?
Would Loz Roger Eddie for 30 seconds while Liz filmed it for £1 million? No, I wouldn't. I don't.
Loz doesn't have to finish. What the fuck sort of question is that? There's 10-year-old children watching this. Goodness me. No. I wouldn't want £1 million.
I don't.
No.
Money's great, but
it's not
some
everything.
things that are just not necessary.
Yeah. Not £1 million wouldn't pay for the very expensive therapy I would need. I'm not that much of a princess. Loz, you bulking or cutting at the moment?
Right now I'm cutting, although this weekend you might not think it.
I've definitely bulked.
But yeah, I want to get down to 120 kilos by the summer. I was 140 at Christmas. I'm currently like 128.
It's okay, Alex. Liz didn't remember me until the second time I met her. And second is pretty good for me, to be fair.
Sometimes I come in and she doesn't know who I am.
Shut up. Behave. Look, Kelly's here, hip flipping mama. Great comp yesterday. We agree. We had loads of fun. And Alex with the members comment. Do you think World's Strongest Man finalists should get auto invites?
No, I don't.
No, because that would mean Ivers would have been auto invited, and
I think
he's not in shape.
a lot
right
can
now,
change
so.
in a year. So
Yes.
no, I don't really think that they should automatically invite the top 10. So like I said, even this year, like you said, Ivers is a good example.
Yeah.
He had surgery on his knee in December. He's clearly not in the shape that he was last year. Obviously, he was runner up at Europe's last year. So things change a lot in a year, and you've got to give. I like the fact that we've got a system now that's coming in that allows new people to get in. We're seeing less and less repeats. A lot more newbies.
A lot more new talent coming through. Yeah. And hopefully long gone are the days where we invite random person that no one's ever heard of who doesn't really even do the sport just to, try and get another country on board, because I don't think that's the right thing to do. Oh, look, my friend Danielle Evanson. Is Uncle Oz arm wrestling in the Shaw Classic? Maybe. Who knows?
We'll see.
We'll have to keep an eye on the Strongest
Something might be coming.
Man or Arm on Earth page and find out. You should arm wrestle Danielle. She's good. She's strong.
She is. Very strong.
Paddy, hope to see you in Sweden again in the grip competition this summer. God, I can't talk. Neil Pickup. Oh, but Elizabeth, once you get onto the sweets, it's a slippery slope. Trust me, I haven't always had ankle tits. They only developed after they secured my fruit pastel sponsorship. I'm a mother of two, Neil, and closing in on 40. You don't need to talk to me about weight fluctuation. It's fine. But just leave me to eat my Haribo in peace. I don't think it was even Neil, to be fair. Has Tom ever done Europe's, and do you think he would compete in it in the near future?
We were saying this in the car back. If I was Tom, I would have competed in Europe's and used it as a boost towards World's Strongest Man.
Yeah. Going into World's Strongest Man, I'd rather go having just won Europe's than having come seventh at the Arnold's. I don't think it. I think Tom is so comfortable and confident at World's Strongest Man. I don't think it will actually matter. But I would take the payday.
The payday is good, but also the title is good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, and to have them both at the same time is lovely.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm surprised he hasn't done Europe's that much. So I don't know how many times has he even competed at Europe's.
I don't know that he ever has.
I can't remember him competing at Europe's, which is crazy.
If he did, then it was 2018 or earlier. He hasn't. He didn't in 2016. I don't think he ever has. Maybe 2017.
No.
Maybe.
No.
Nope.
No.
We have talked quite extensively about Gav and Luke, and some of it quite early at the video. So if you watch back, guys, just because we don't want to keep going over the same stuff and we want to try and wrap up. What are people talking about? Neil, did you mention Zeus's tooth yesterday, or did I miss it? Neil's got new material. Lars, do you feel some athletes get Giants invites based on reputation and popularity rather than just deserving the spot? I'm an Irishman. I do love power, but right now Sean Gillen is #1 in Ireland.
It's a good point you make there. Like Sean won Ireland's Strongest Man. He's very well at Brits as well.
He's won it the last 2 years, to be fair, Sean.
Yeah, I get it to a degree.
Of a balancing act.
You've got to sell tickets, but I do feel we have to give up-and-coming guys a chance. This is not to take anything away. When I say this, people are, you hate this guy. It's not true.
No, it's not about the athlete ever.
I would put myself in the same position. There was a point you come to, is like, I could have still gone to Giants Live.
But you shouldn't.
But I shouldn't.
Yeah.
And I think we've seen that with certain athletes. And it's hard because we become, as fans, we want to see certain athletes. We all want to see people that we like. But if we don't let the Paddys, the Andrew Flynns, the new athletes that are up and coming get an opportunity, and maybe they'll do badly on that first opportunity, but they are the future stars. So if you are an athlete that is on the way down, I don't think you should be just handed a spot. I think if you earned the spot, no one can say anything. So for any of like the athletes doing England's Strongest Man that then end up at Britain's Strongest Man, you know, say Terry went to England's Strongest Man and he qualified automatically. No one can say a damn word.
Yeah.
He deserves to be there still. He's still good enough. But Terry should not be automatically invited to just compete at Britain's Strongest Man. I should not be automatically invited to compete at Britain's Strongest Man. And I feel that there's a few athletes that still get automatic invites that maybe aren't proving that they should be there.
Yeah, agree.
And that's not a slight on them as people, but athletes deteriorate as they age. And it's up to you then to go away and think, right, I'm going to motivate myself to work hard. Because if you're just handed it on a plate, you lose the motivation to dig deep and think, you just start thinking, oh yeah, I'll get an invite.
Yeah.
And I've seen it with World Strongest Man. I'm not just talking about Brits. I've seen many athletes that have been to Worlds once and just think that they're going to get an invite back. And my advice as a coach to some of those athletes is go and do LSG. Prove yourself that you're still good enough. Don't just rely on getting that invite.
Yeah.
And I think if you still want to get those opportunities, you do need to earn them. Otherwise, how are the younger guys that are getting better going to get that experience?
Yeah. Andre Foytu in the chat really enjoyed Liz almost knocking me out.
How did you nearly knock Andre out?
Wow. As I said, the coaches aren't allowed in that area. He was feeling a little bit lightheaded. I think it was before the shield carry. And I said, oh, you know, do you need a slap or something? He was like, I think I do, actually. I was like, where do you want it? He said, between the shoulder blades. So, you know, I hit him. I hit him pretty hard. But he did very well on the shield carry. Like,
you were
was a
awesome
big
yesterday, buddy.
So,
absolutely awesome.
You know, you're welcome, man. I used my less dominant hand.
Oh, that was nice of you.
But he was great though, wasn't he? And I know, you know, we talked about you earlier, Andre. I don't know if you caught it, but we were saying, I know it's disappointing coming fourth again. You said to me last night, that's almost the worst position, but 23 years old, you know, placing like that consistently at Giants live shows, you're going to be someone who we want to see invited again to give him more opportunities.
Yeah, he's an amazing athlete.
Yeah.
Just getting better every time we see him.
Yes. Right, let's try and wrap up, Lozzie. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. Right now, the US is an exciting place to travel to. Do you think this may affect the decisions for future locations? Probably not, because IMG, I think it's cheaper for them to be in the US, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would love to see Welch travel around more.
Me too.
Yeah. And I don't think the US is getting so exciting to travel to that it's like harder to travel to or hostile.
I like
it's hard for you.
It's not hard for me. I just get searched every time I go.
Losses get subjected to additional security checks, multiple for each trip.
Yeah.
You're too ambiguous looking at you. Where are we? Ronan, thank you for the super chat. I would love to see Liz on the desk between events of Terry and Nicola. Maybe they could cut to Liz backstage to interview athletes after a win. If I was going to do anything official, which I don't want to be honest, I like being a freelancer. Interviewing athletes would be my jam.
Yeah,
I think.
You'd be good at that.
Yeah, I think I'd be better at that than anything else, probably.
We will wrap these up.
Just because I like to have a chat. Talking about some of Neil's go-to jokes. Doesn't Neil have his own life to get onto?
I don't think he's doing one tonight, are you, Neil? Otherwise, he would have started
already.
Yeah.
Liz taking lessons from Evan Singleton's coach. I don't think I can hit hard enough for Evan. I don't think I would
likes
be.
a slap.
He likes it. Wow, he's got blood on his hat, like permanently in the fabric.
I used to hit myself with a stick, but he will try to knock himself out with a wall.
Really headbutts things. Yeah. Wild. Yeah. I don't think it would be enough, to be honest. Oh, there we go. We've pretty much done it. Good night, everyone. Have a safe week. There we go. Wrap it up, Lossie.
Right, guys. As always, thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back. Well, no, Liz might be back next week. I'll try and join.
You better be on. You have to
try.
Be. If not, maybe I could coax some friends from the Strongman world to come on a live with me.
There you go. We'll do a
Strongman
live
Sunday.
We'll have some interesting lives.
Rano.
Rano and you would be hilarious.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Just without adult supervision.
Or Andrea.
That is you.
Yeah.
Andrea would be fun.
Although she's
also.
asleep at this time.
I was going to say it's past her bedtime.
She's asleep by like 8 p.m.
Yeah, she'd be asleep on the live. But maybe. Well, hopefully you can come. But if not,
Yes,
it's an idea, isn't it?
Right, guys, have an amazing week. Thank you once again. Hope you enjoyed Europe. Hope you enjoyed the show. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy.
Well done. That's your